represent the West Racine area. This is my 4th term on the county board. I sit on the finance committee. I have, for all 4 terms, I've been on the finance committee as vice chair of finance for a couple of those years. I'm the chairman of the public protection committee for the county now. We oversee the jail, the courts, the sheriff's department, water patrol, the judges, and that area. I'm running for my county board seat again. I don't have an opponent as yet. I hope I don't, but if I do, that's okay too. Just make me work harder. So that's a good thing. I already have all my signatures. John, get out there, get those signatures. And by the way, with John, he shows up at more county board meetings than most people do. He's got a really good track record. My brother's also on the village of Caledonia. He's a trustee, Kevin Wanggard, and he goes out and sits with Kevin quite a bit with the committees that are going on out there. So John's real involved, so if you can support him, please do. We need that type of individual. I'm running for my county board seat again because the event that I'm not elected, I want to stay involved in what's going on with our county here. I'm going to get elected, so we're going to find somebody to fill that seat once I'm elected and go to take office next January. That being said, I've grown up in Racine, 57 years old, lived here my whole life except for a couple years that I was at Fort Leavenworth where I was born. My dad was in the service, his 2nd tour of duty, serving in wars. He spent 10 years, 5 in World War II, 5 in Korea. I got born in Fort Leavenworth where he was the chief of dentistry for the disciplinary barracks. Came back here to Racine, grew up here, went through mostly public schools until I got to high school, and ended up transferring over to Lutheran High School in my junior year, and graduated from Lutheran High School. I married a St. Cat's girl, my high school sweetheart, Mary Jo. We've been married 36 years, have 2 kids. My daughter teaches at Giese School, 2nd grade. My son is finishing up his theology degree at Bethel Seminary and has a small business doing marketing in Minneapolis. Let's see, I was a police officer for 30 years on the City of Racine Police Department. Was a traffic investigator, senior traffic investigator for about the last 10 years on the department. I was hurt on the job in March 29th of 2000. I got hit head-on by a guy fleeing the U.S. Marshals, ended up with a fractured neck, and was forced to retire on a disability retirement a couple of months before I was 50. So even though I was forced to go out on the disability, I got my regular retirement, so I'm not on a disability. There's been some talk about that I'm out on a disability. How can I go and do this, blah, blah, blah. Well, I have a regular retirement that I earned with 30 years on the police department. What else? We have, over the past 4 terms that I have served, we have brought in budgets for Racine County that have been under the cap. And in fact, this year, our budgeting process, as you'll see on your county tax bill, when it says county, look at the county, it's 0.88. That's less than 1%. As you know, we could give you a tax of up to 3%. Our state legislature was just really wonderful. You know, they raised that cap from 2% up to 3%, so we could tax you more locally. So it would, you know, just kind of shift that tax from the state side of it down to the county side of it. We've got a pretty conservative board here. We have continued to push for efficiencies. We've reduced our staff here at the county level, over 300 and some people since I've been on the county board. 300 and some positions have been eliminated, and we still continue to provide the services that we did with those employees. And we're pretty proud of what our workforce does here. They do a very fine job for us, and they're willing to get involved and also take cuts when they need to take cuts to be part of the team. That being said, what can I tell you? Roy.
Do you subscribe, are you familiar with this Continental Congress thing?
I'm not sure exactly what you're
referring to. I just want to know if you're familiar with it and whether you subscribe to it. The other question I have is as a state senator, how do you see, or what is your perception of how we deal with the immigration issue?
With the illegal immigration issue, well, the first thing is to repeal in-state tuition for illegal aliens. And that was absolutely ludicrous for them to do this at the state level. Here we are, we have, they're here illegally violating our federal law and violating our Constitution, and we're going to give them in-state tuition. We have somebody from Iowa that wants to come to Wisconsin, they have to pay an out-of-state tuition. Yet we're going to have somebody come across the border illegally and we're going to give them in-state tuition. Your child then wants to apply to go to the University of Wisconsin, and because we don't have these out-of-state people that are paying a little higher freight in here and we're subsidizing the other ones, you're going to pay more money for that illegal alien to have their education here at a better rate. Plus, we'll even give you a mortgage at a reduced rate too.
Would you introduce legislation that would restrict or eliminate any gifting, if you would, to the illegal immigrants?
I would repeal what we have now.
Okay.
I mean, I would push to repeal that, and I think that I think if we get control of the Senate, we need to get 2 Senate seats back, and we'll have control of the Senate. And I really feel strongly that Scott Walker is going to be our next governor. He's my choice. I'm working closely with Scott. We talk back and forth when I have issues that I need to see where he's on. I'm talking over one yesterday, and I think he's right on. I think he's looking at, with most of his policies, doing the same thing that I'm talking. I mean, you just can't continue to subsidize these things, and to subsidize people violating our Constitution, that's just wrong.
How do you feel about declaration of sovereignty for the state?
I agree. I think that the states are, I think states have given up that ability to control their own destiny because they've dangled that carrot out there, that federal carrot, that if you guys do this, we're going to give you this money, but you have to do this and this and this. And they don't have the right to do it, but we're allowing them to do it. And we're allowing them to do it because of the dollar. And oftentimes it costs us 3 or 4 times what it would have if we just did it on our own. So I would even consider introducing something that would come out and say that we need to have sovereignty and that this is very important for us. Just like our Second Amendment rights and carry conceal. Anybody